The scent of polished oak and costly cologne envelops me as I push through the heavy glass doors of Hart Enterprises headquarters, arriving 30 minutes early. The quarterly board meeting isn't set until 9, but something in Edward's voice during our brief call yesterday left me uneasy. Just a routine discussion about budget allocations, Head said, but the strain in his tone hinted at more. The executive floor unfolds before me in refined silence, ivory carpet muffling my steps, cherrywood paneling glowing under soft lighting. Family portraits line the hallway, generations of hearts in stiff poses, their serious gazes tracking my passage. My understated navy pantsuit and modest heels suddenly feel out of place, a stark contrast to the corporate empire my family commands. I slow as voices drift from the boardroom, the door slightly ajar, a sliver of light spilling out. Asterisk, just sign here, Edward. Nexus Solutions is ready to wire the funds once we close. A crisp, unfamiliar voice. Asterisk 3.5 million is theft for what we've invested in that division. Edward replies, his resonant voice unmistakable. Asterisk, it's more than fair for untested tech. Cassandra counters, her voice smooth with the confidence that seals deals and opens doors. Asterisk, my pulse quickens. They're discussing my division, my research. I push the door open, hinges creaking softly. 4 heads whip up, Edward in his bespoke suit, Cassandra in her signature crimson blazer with gold buttons that likely cost more than my rent. Nathan slouched in his chair and a bespectacled stranger I don't know. Papers litter the polished table. One slides toward me, revealing Quantum Stability Division Asset Transfer Agreement in bold before Cassandra snatches it back. Asterisk Abigail. Edward recovers first, his silver brows knitting. The meeting's not for another half hour. Asterisk, you're selling my life's work without telling me. The words burst out, raw with disbelief. Asterisk Edward sighs, adjusting his monogrammed cuffs. Your science experiment has drained enough company resources, Abigail. 6 years of funding with no tangible results for investors? Asterisk no tangible results? I step forward, hands shaking. We've achieved quantum stability at room temperature for 17 minutes. Do you know what that means? Asterisk Cassandra's laugh cuts like shattered crystal. Abigail's lab tinkering, she says to the stranger, who offers a thin smile, always promising breakthroughs that never deliver. Asterisk, I look to Nathan, hoping for an ally, but he stares at his polished shoes, shoulders hunched as if willing himself invisible. A memory of Eleanor Brooks surfaces her frail hands gripping mine 3 months before her death. They don't understand vision, Abby, Shed whispered. But I do. That's why I set up this trust for your research. Don't let them stop you. Asterisk 6 years of 18-hour days. My small team burning through weekends and holidays, defying the impossible. Edward dismissing reports unread. Cassandra mocking my costly hobby at family dinners. Now thistling everything for a pittance to the first bidder. Asterisk, this division has cost us nearly 12 million. Edward says, softer but still dismissive. The board agrees it's time to cut losses. Asterisk, the board hasn't met yet, I counter. Voice steadier than I feel. Asterisk a formality, he says, gesturing to the papers. The voting shares are aligned. Nexus Solutions is generous given the circumstances. Asterisk the room tilts. 6 years of work. My team's futures. The potential ethical imaging to transform cancer detection. Encryption to secure finance, energy systems to slash consumption. I turn to leave, legs heavy, dignity my only shield. At the door I pause, Eleanor's voice echoing. Remember who owns those patents. Abby, remember what I taught you about protecting yourself. Asterisk, I face Edward's impatient stare. You might want to check the patent ownership before signing anything else. Asterisk, the words linger. Edward's expression shifts confusion, then a flicker of doubt. Cassandra's manicured hand freezes, pen hovering above the signature line. Nathan looks up, eyes widening as realization hits. I walk out, closing the door with a soft click that resonates like thunder in the sudden silence. The revolution has begun. Asterisk, asterisk, the next day. Sunlight slants through my living room blinds as I pace, dialing Lavra Bennett's number repeatedly. 6 years of research me life's workin', they tried to sell it for pocket change without a word. Asterisk, I'm outside. Lavra says when she answers, bringing reinforcements. Asterisk, I. Open my apartment door to find Lavra Bennett in a sharp charcoal suit that makes my simple attire look drab. Her Harvard Law diploma graces an office with a harbor view. Behind her stands Dr. Michael Carter, my research partner, clutching a bulging accordion file. Asterisk, you were right, Lavra says, brushing past me, heels clicking on my hardwood floor. We found everything. Asterisk, Michael sets up his laptop on my kitchen counter while Lavra spreads documents across my coffee table with precision. The papers map a galaxy of betrayal. Asterisk, your father has blocked every funding request you've submitted for 3 years, Lavra says, tapping a thick folder. And that's not all. Asterisk, Michael turns his laptop toward me. Look familiar? A PowerPoint slide bearing Cassandra's name displays quantum stability algorithms we developed 6 months ago. Asterisk. She's been stealing our research, I say, voice hollow. How? Asterisk, remember Jason from IT. Michael says. Cassandra convinced him she needed server access for a security audit. She's been downloading our data for a year. Asterisk, I sink onto my sofa, the room tilting. She presented this as her own? Won awards for it? Asterisk, innovation awards, Michael says, his gentle voice hardening. Her bonuses for breakthrough thinking exceed our lab's entire budget. Asterisk, Lavra hands me a folder labeled Heart Enterprises Internal Correspondence. Emails between Cassandra and Edward span years. Don't worry about Abigail's funding requests. One from Edward reads, the board never sees them. I make sure of it. Another from Cassandra, dinner with Nexus Solutions execs. They're keen on quantum stability. I told them my division is making progress. Edward's reply chills me. Good. Abigail's project is bleeding money. Well, transition ownership to your division. Legacy matters more than credit. Asterisk, my hands shake, anger rising. I think of my team's sacrificed weekends, Edward ignoring our reports, Cassandra mocking my hobby while pilfering it. Asterisk, we're going back there, I say, standing. Now. Asterisk, an hour later, we stride into Heart Enterprises. The receptionist, recognizing me, buzzes us through. In the elevator, Lavra hands me a thick legal document. Asterisk, your grandmother was smarter than them all, she says. The patents are ironclad, registered in your name via her trust. Edward can't touch them. Asterisk, the boardroom falls silent as I push open the door. Edward sits at the head, Cassandra beside him, smug in a tailored burgundy suit. Nathan hunches in his seat, eyes down. 3 board members, Edward's golf buddies line one side. Asterisk, Abigail, Edward warns. This is a private meeting. Asterisk, about my research division, I say, stepping inside with Lavra and Michael closing the door. So I should be here. Asterisk, Cassandra's smile tightens. We're discussing asset realignment. Nothing that concerns you. Asterisk, you mean theft? Michael interjects, placing a flash drive on the table. Of intellectual property that doesn't belong to you? Asterisk, Lara steps forward. If prepared documentation showing systematic IP theft, fraudulent research claims, and misappropriation of resources. She slides copies to each board member. Abigail's patents are owned through the Eleanor Brooks Trust. Selling them to Nexus Solutions is corporate fraud. Asterisk. Cassandra's face pales as she scans the pages. You're always so dramatic, Abigail, Edward says, but uncertainty creeps into his voice. This is business, not personal. Asterisk, stealing my work is personal. I reply, steady now, as is blocking my funding while Cassandra paraded my research as hers. Asterisk, Cassandra slams the table. Innovation doesn't count unless it has my name on it. You've always hidden in your lab while I made things happen. Asterisk, you mean stealing credit? Michael projects emails onto the wall. Cassandra's correspondence with Jason. Server access instructions, data transfers. Asterisk, Helen Ramsey, a silver-haired board member, frowns at the documents. Edward, if these allegations are true, asterisk, they're not. Edward snaps. Abigail's imagination runs wild, playing scientist while we run a business. He stands, glaring. You'll never work in this industry again. I made you. I can break you. Asterisk, the words hang like a guillotine. 6 years ago, they'd have crushed me. Today, they fuel me. Asterisk, the patents are in my name, I say quietly. Funded by Eleanor's trust. She saw what UWOUNDN. Asterisk, the room stills. Even Cassandra pauses, her face calculating. Helen stands. We need an emergency meeting tomorrow. Full financial disclosure. No exceptions. Asterisk Edward's face reddens, control slipping. This meeting is adjourned. Asterisk I gather my things, every eye on me. As I reach the door, Cassandra's voice cuts through. Family loyalty meant something to you once, Abigail. Eleanor would be ashamed. Asterisk I pause. No, Cassandra. Eleanor knew exactly who you were. That's why she left the trust to me. Asterisk the door closes with a soft click. Thunder in my ears. Lavra squeezes my arm. First round to you, she whispers. Tomorrow's the real fight. Asterisk an email from PR Newswire pings as I stare at my apartment ceiling. 6 hours after the boardroom clash. Hart Enterprises addresses leadership concerns in quantum division. Edward's quotes dominate, citing deep concern for my erratic behavior. Cassandra, in paragraph 3, laments family matters becoming business issues. The subtext screams, am unstable, a threat to the company. I hurl my phone. It bounces off the sofa. My apartment feels stifling, bookshelves stuffed with quantum texts, coffee table buried under journals, counters cluttered with lab equipment. Asterisk, my phone buzzes. Unknown number. Your keycard access is terminated, Dr. Hart. The security manager says neutral. Your team is on administrative leave pending. Review. My team? My voice breaks. Director's orders. He hangs up. A text from Dr. Carter flashes. Don't panic. Trust me. 3 sharp knocks. Through the peephole I see 5 figures with cardboard boxes. Abigail, open up, Dr. Carter calls. Urgent, but calm. I unlock the door. My T-2 stands there. Carter, Priya, Ethan, Lucas, and Chloe. Faces resolute. You've got 20 minutes before security notices. We took these from the lab. Carter says, brushing past with boxes of equipment. Drives and notebooks. What is this? I ask, stunned as they unpack with precision. Priya grins. We saw this coming when Cassandra started asking odd questions about our encryption protocols 6 months ago. You know? My voice cracks. Not exactly, Carter says, connecting a laptop to a drive. But we've worked with your family long enough to spot vultures circling. Ethan speaks up. We've backed everything up. Off-site, triple redundancy. And worked weekends at my place, Lucas adds, adjusting his glasses. Better coffee than the lab. Chloe holds up a flash drive. This is the prize. 3 weeks of breakthrough quantum stability progress they don't know about. A knock silences us. Carter signals to freeze. Through the peephole, Nathan stands alone, glancing nervously. I open the door slightly, blocking his view. What do you want? 5 minutes, Nathan says, voice raw. Please. I step into the hall, closing the door. Make it fast. He runs a hand through thinning hair. I knew. About the sale. Cassandra stealing your notes. The campaign to discredit you that launched today. The hallway narrows. And you did nothing. I was a coward, he admits. Eyes down. But I'm done with that. He hands me a folder. Cassandra's division hasn't produced original research in years. It's all acquisition and rebranding. These financials prove it. Why now? He meets my gaze. Edward built an empire with force. You could change the world. Your team refused. Nexus Solutions offers this morning half $1 million each to jump ship. They all said no. Warmth blooms in my chest, easing the cold anger. Edward doesn't understand loyalty he can't buy, Nathan says. That makes you dangerous. Back inside. My team huddles around Carter's laptop, code scrolling. Ryan and Amir are still at the lab, Carter says, feeding us intel. The PR campaign is just the start, I say, sinking into my armchair. They'll target your careers next. They already have, Chloe says, showing texts from recruiters offering fresh starts away from the Hart situation. Lucas snorts. Nexus offered me a corner office. I told them I don't work for thieves, Priya nods. Eleanor funded my doctorate. Loyalty isn't just paychecks. Eleanor's mention sends me to my bookshelf. Among quantum texts sits a leather portfolio. Inside, her letter, written 2 weeks before her death. The charter amendment is filed with Harrington. If Edward tries to take your work, Article 16 redistributes voting shares. He never reads the fine print, darling. I work through the night, scouring company documents, while my team sleeps in shifts. Near dawn I find it. Article 16, Section 3. Paragraph 7. The clause that changes everything. Eleanor knew. I whispered to her photo as dawn breaks. My phone buzzes. Patent Office, Quantum Stability Algorithm granted. National Science Foundation, Breakthrough Designation confirmed. A third message, initial licensing interest starting at $4.2 billion. I smile. They have no idea what's coming. The boardroom feels different today. 13 Hart Enterprises board members sit around the walnut table, expressions tense. The emergency meeting at 9 a.m. has everyone on edge. I watch through the glass wall as Edward checks his watch. Lavra squeezes my arm. Ready. I smooth my tailored charcoal suit, radiating quiet authority. I've been ready for 6 years. We enter with my legal team, portfolios in hand. Silence falls. Edward stands, face flushed. This is a closed meeting. Abigail, leave now. Helen Ramsey, Eleanor's friend and board chair, taps her gavel. I called this meeting at the request of members concerned about yesterday's attempted sale. We should hear Dr. Hart. Dr. Hart. The title makes Cassandra's brows shoot up. I take the presentation screen as my team distributes folders. Thank you for this is absurd, Cassandra interrupts, standing. My sister is stealing company-funded research. She's been unstable since Eleanor died, sabotaging a legitimate deal. Edward nods. I move to adjourn and handle this privately. Second, says Gerald Coleman. Edward's ally. Helen glances at her folder, then shakes her head. Motion denied. Continue, Dr. Hart. Cassandra slams the table. She has no right. The quantum stability algorithm patents are in my name, I say, steady. Funded by Eleanor's Trust, not Hart Enterprises. Section 1, your folders. Pages rustle. Nathan studies the documents. Avoiding Edward's glares, the National Science Foundation has designated our breakthrough as nationally significant. I continue, showing the seal. Licensing bids start at $4.2 billion. Not the $3.5 million Nexus deal you tried yesterday. Gasps ripple through. Gerald's mouth drops. Helen's eyes widen. Preposterous, Edward sputters. No quantum tech is worth. The Department of Defense disagrees. Lavra interjects, pointing to Section 3. As do MIT and 7 tech giants with preliminary bids. Cassandra's knuckles whiten. This is a bluff. She's jealous of my success. No bluff, I say, clicking to the next slide. The FBI has questions about your division's research claims. Forensic Accounting, Section 4. I step to the room's center. Section 5. A charter clause from my grandfather, reinforced by Eleanor. If IP is threatened, voting shares shift to the IP owner. As of yesterday, in the controlling shareholder. The room erupts. Questions fly, aimed at me, not Edward. Fear flickers in his eyes. He stands. This meeting is over. My lawyers will. The meeting isn't adjourned, Edward, I say. Take your seat. He hesitates, then sits, the power shift tangible. Helen taps her gavel. The board has questions for our new majority shareholder. My heart pounds, but I nod. The revolution has won. The boardroom feels familiar today. My nameplate shines at the head of the oak table where Edward ruled for 30 years. 1 week as chair, and the leather chair still resists me. Board members enter with cautious smiles, glancing at the empty seats for Edward and Cassandra. Nathan slips in, nodding, his posture straighter. When Edward and Cassandra arrive, the air chills. Cassandra's crimson blazer blazes. Edward's pinstriped suit screams wealth. Abigail, Edward says, ignoring protocol, sitting without invitation. Cassandra follows. This meeting will come to order, I say. Voice steady. Edward slides a folder forward. A proposal for family reconciliation. For the company's good. Cassandra leans in. The press would love a daughter's hostile takeover. Stock prices won't survive the headlines. Their lawyer, Paul Donovan, produces a document. A cease and desist regarding Hart family patents. The family name is trademarked, and Eleanor's Trust doesn't supersede bylaws. The old Abigail would have crumbled. Not today. Before we address that, I say, tapping my tablet, meet Project Helios. The screen shows a hidden research facility, funded by Eleanor's Trust, built in a warehouse 30 miles away. While you undermine me, my team achieved quantum supremacy 7-8 minutes of stability. We've applied it to protein folding, identifying 3 cancer treatments. Edward's jaw twitches. Our carbon capture tech has secured $7 billion in government contracts, I add. Cassandra's pen clatters. Nathan's eyes widen. Hart Enterprises stock is up 70% since my patents broke, I say. Questions. Helen speaks. Would like to hear more. Abigail. Lavra distributes tablets. These show a forensic audit of Cassandra's division. No original research since 2019, just fraud and plagiarism. Ridiculous. Cassandra sputters. Page 12, I say. Details. Edward's secret talks with Horizon Ventures to sell controlling interest without board approval. Edward slams the table. You've overstepped. The final page shows my division's profitability. Despite the smallest budget, I say. Silence falls. Martin Walsh, Edward's ally, asks, what now? Edward transitions to chairman emeritus, no operational power. Cassandra's employment is terminated. Criminal charges are pending. Cassandra leaps up, knocking her chair back. You'll burn this company down before I let you win. Security escorts her out, her threats echoing. I turn to Nathan. CFO position is yours, 6-month probation under oversight. Thank you. Abigail, he says, relieved. Helen Ramsey will be interim coup. I continue. All in favor? Hands rise, even Martin's after a pause. Edward stays down, but the vote passes. As we adjourn, Lavra whispers. Financial Times wants a statement. In the atrium, cameras flash. A journalist asks, Dr. Hart, what's next for Hart Enterprises? I glance at Edward in the doorway, his face unreadable. For the first time, I don't seek his approval. Fresh paint and lemon polish greet me as I guide young scientists through. Hart Enterprises transformed headquarters. Heavy oak doors are gone, replaced by glass walls and open spaces for collaboration. Our quantum stability lab is here, I say, smoothing my navy blazer. Every workstation accesses our computing hub. A young woman raises her hand. Dr. Hart, is it true you've hit 80 minutes of stability? I smile, 87 and counting. Call me Abigail. In the boardroom, our quantum-based cancer detection tech, 96% success rate is on the table. Board members listen, awed. Targeted imaging detects cellular changes 3 years earlier. I explain. As the meeting ends. Diane Hart, my mother, appears in the doorway. Simple gray dress replacing her usual elegance. I didn't mean to interrupt. She says softly, You're not, I reply, sliding a folder to her. Consider heading the Hart Charitable Foundation. Her fingers tremble. After everything with Edward and Cassandra, Eleanor would wanted healing. Where possible, I say later, celebrating with my Team No division directors, Dr. Carter raises a glass. To Abigail, who saw what we COULDNT. Nathan, proving himself as CFO, stands nearby. His shift to integrity is a daily surprise. In my office, Sophie, a young physicist, shares her calculations, doubting her too theoretical approach. Never let anyone call your ideas too ambitious, I say, seeing my younger self in her. The quiet ones build revolutions. That evening, I hang Eleanor's portrait beside our first patent. Its brass plate reading, Never underestimate the quiet ones, they build revolutions. A news alert flashes. Hart Enterprises value triples post-restructuring. I close my laptop. Check the clock, 5:30 p.m. and leave on time for the first time in years. The revolution isn't just quantum science. It's about valuing what matters. Wow, what a ride. Right. This story of turning the tables on her backstabbing family gave you chills or had you cheering? Smash that like button to let us know. Drop a comment below to us about the most jaw-dropping revenge you've ever witnessed or maybe even pulled off yourself. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss another epic tale of karma hitting hard. Stick around for more stories that'll keep you glued to your screen.